parent are subsidizing a new flagman complementary kennel schema for 3 and 4 persons-year-olds in England of their own pockets, a examination suggests. Nurseries are manufacturing up losses by raising charges for junior family and charge for meals and nappies, a examination of 1,662 providers suggests. The examination, by the Before School Training Association, suggests just a tertiary are supplying the several hours completely complementary. The by the government says it is putting £6 bn in care of children by 2020. It added how any extortion to parent on the schema must be volunteer. Families wherever both of parent are work more than rather than 16 several hours a 1 week, but making by £100,000 every, classify for the schema. It expands the quantity of complementary several hours care of children for the age team of 15 a 1 week. But nurseries and before schools include length alerted they will fight to do ends encounter since the per hour rates they are reception of the by the government are too cheap. Nurseries and before schools include already been crucifix subsidizing the early right of 15 several hours a 1 week in charges of non-government underfunded family. On to the examination, carried out on the internet amongst association members, above a tertiary told they were manufacturing up losses by raising charges for junior family. An extortion for items such as meals and nappies are as well creature done at a tertiary of the configure how answered. Largest told the per hour rates they were reception of the by the government were under which they loaded parent not on the schema and unsuccessful to lid their expenses. And a 5 mind they may not be financially stable by following year. And multiple regional authorities are no much longer promotion the schema as complementary, instead of relating to the several hours as underfunded in their advertisement instead of. One kennel said the association, financing bet not enlarged for the 7-year, linked in price of enlarged retirement contributions and growth in residing wages and minimal wages, we are severely worried on our next surviving. More than rather than 3/4, several 77%, told if the financing remaining the identical following year, it would include a adverse effect on the industry. 44% outlined how adverse effect as considerable. Else supplier told, it does not now appear financially stable. If the financing bet does not growth, the just way we can yet propose the places is by charge for extra, in some speech charge for the gap in insufficient financing. Head execution of the Before School Training Association Neil Leach told, he's precise of these received information how the by the government's flagman care of children politics is lack both of providers and parent. Respondents include laid down out in dark and whites how the 30 several hours politics is just not work, in a extended absence of appropriate financing outgoing lot in no stock option but to undergo the financing deficit onto parent. The has leftward parent to pay the cost for by the government insufficient financing via frequently sudden extortion for things love nappies, meal and trips, time the by the government continues to complain how he's supplying on its pledge of complementary care of children. He told how with the politics had been announced, the care of children segment had often told the schema would not be stable in the length period. Same by the government should not include necessary more than testimony of a care of children financing meltdown, but there it is. He added how if ministers did not wish to keep parent collecting up the hanger, or more than kennel closures, they necessary to growth financing promptly. The Domestic Day Nurseries Associate Head Execution Purnima Tanuku told, these are very anxious received information and sorrowfully echoing our own study above the recent year same by the government as necessary to be fair in providers and parent how 30 several hours underfunded care of children is not complementary. Down there is a considerable deficit among by the government financing rates and the price to nurseries of provided care of children. A Division for Formation representative told, we are putting a recording sum of about £6 trillion each year by 2020 in care of children and include dual the complementary care of children accessible to work parent to 30 several hours a 1 week, save them up to £5,000 a year per kid. Providers can select if to propose 30 several hours and which design of days and several hours they propose parent. We include ever been precise how by the government financing is not designed to lid the expenses of meals or further services. Yet, time providers can accusation parent for further extra, the cannot be a state of the kid's location.